know about the Sierra program?
Reckless mystery men you guys send in when you can't officially send anyone else?
The Gray Man.
Bracia Russo może i zamknęli za sobą drzwi z napisem Marvel Studios, ale nadal kręcą wysokobudżetowe, spektakularne blockbustery. Szpiegowski akcyjniak Gray Man, ich najnowsze dzieło, kosztował aż $200 milionów. O tym, na co je wydano, rozmawiamy z reżyserami oraz z gwiazdą filmu Ryanem Goslingiem. Ryan, I think The Gray Man is the first full-fledged, high-budget, old-school action movie in your career, so can you share some thoughts about the whole experience being in it?
I've wanted to make an action movie my whole life. You know, their action was what made me fall in love with film in general. So it just took me a long time to find the right one. But when this one came around, you know, I knew this was it, because first of all, the Russo brothers, who, you know, have been doing this for the last decade and doing it at this scale and doing an amazing job. And then, you know, this character, I just really thought this character was unique and one that I wanted to play. It kind of reminded me a bit of the 80s and 90s action movies that I grew up watching. It was fun. You know, Chris, like the Russos, has been doing this. You know, he has so much, you know, experience, and he was having so much fun playing this role. You know, it made it fun to play against him.
It's gonna be my funeral you're going to next. You wanna make an omelet? You gotta kill some people.
So you made your names in Hollywood years ago, filming a spy action movie set in a comic book universe, and I love that you are still exploring the genre. But can you please say what action movies still have to offer? Haven't we seen them all?
I mean, I think we've seen everything. I'm not sure that outside of Everything Everywhere All at Once, I don't know that I've seen an original idea in a long time. So, you know, Anthony and I like swimming in genre because audiences like watching it. And I think that's why genre stood the test of time. What you can do that makes genre unique is you can correlate it to modern events or things that are happening that feel more connected to the audience that's going to be watching it. Bond is over 60 years old at this point. And there were some, you know, gender politics and things like that haven't aged so well in the franchise. Bourne is 20 years old at this point, and a lot has changed in the world since Bourne came out. This book had a resonance for us. It felt very modern, and ultimately, you know, the cynical world that it's set in, and you know, the character of Six having to step into the light and away from the darkness felt like it would connect very strongly with some of the things that are going on in the world today.
Every grade A wet team from here to Reykjavik will be vying for the prestige of killing the infamous Sierra Six.
And Sierra Six, the character you portray, is a man with no past, possibly no future as well. And at first glance, it may seem you didn't have much to work on to build a psychologically convincing character. So where did you look for a personal connection?
What made him unique was that he didn't want to be a spy. You know, he'd rather be a plumber. He's forced to do this because it's jail or this. And at least being a spy, he gets to live a little before he dies. But either way, he's serving a death sentence. So, you know, I thought that made him compelling, you know, and I thought the way that he was also a kind of, you know, an analog hero in a digital world. You know, he doesn't have gadgets. He's not helped out by technology. You know, it's just human ingenuity that keeps him going and keeps him alive.
And I think Ryan Gosling hasn't done an action film like that before. So why did you decide to cast him as Six?
Well, we were trying to create a new type of lead character in a spy franchise. And, you know, if you look at the types of characters that have existed up to this point, whether it be Bond or the Mission Impossible franchise, they tend to be built around a character that's a little more showy, vocal. You know, we like the idea of in The Gray Man that it was the opposite of that. This is a character who just wants to disappear, live in the gray, not reveal himself. In fact, this character doesn't even really want to be there. He's only serving as a spy because he was offered furlough from prison. It's a very different character. It's a difficult character to play. And Ryan Gosling is uniquely capable of conveying a very complex inner life, a lot of emotion, a lot of charisma, a lot of intelligence by doing very little. And he seemed like the perfect marriage to this character. So the fact that he responded to the role and wanted to come play with us on this movie was amazing. He's been an incredible collaborator. He thinks like a filmmaker. He was a great partner to us in terms of refining the script and refining our ideas of what we could do with the movie and with the character. And it's been an incredible partnership with him.
You hurt?
I mean, my ego's a little bruised.
And I know it might be a bit cliche to ask you about your workout and training for that role, but I bet it was physically demanding, and I would honestly love to hear about your preparation phase.
It was very physically challenging. You know, I did all the things that you can imagine, you have to do. But I had a lot of help. You know, I had this amazing stunt team, and at first it started, you know, they kind of showed me a bunch of different styles of martial arts, and we kind of curated our own style for this character and for me that would suit me and work for him. You know, I had this technical, tactical advisor who was an ex-Delta Force member, and he was just invaluable. You know, I had him with me in every scene, and he would give me all this amazing advice, not just how to hold myself or where I would stand or what I would say, but it was also his idea to have Skittles on me all the time, or tie my shoelace to the door when I fall asleep. You know, these are things that I thought, you know, added something really interesting to the film, you know, and made it really specific, and I have to credit him with those ideas.
And I have to say that the Grey Man is quite impressive visually, especially Bangkok scene. And I've been wondering about the CGI practical effects ratio.
You know, it's like 80% practical, 20% CGI. Obviously, there's certain things you can't do, like blow up a plane with human beings on it, or there's some elements that, you know, for the safety of the actors that have to be CGI, but it's a fairly intense practical movie. Ryan trained very hard. Evans and Anna all trained very hard for months to be able to pull off the stunts in the film. We also like to see our actors executing those stunts and throwing punches and kicks and, you know, being those ones on camera so that it doesn't take you out of the movie. And there's a Cirque du Soleil level of choreography involved with that stuff. It's also very dangerous. And, you know, when you're throwing a punch at full speed, if you miss by 1 inch, you could break somebody's jaw. You know, we like to commit to that, but in a very safe way. So it's exciting to us to be on set and watch an actor like Ryan, who's trained for months, execute at a scale that very few people can.